G'day YouTubers, my name's Matt. This is my aquaculture IBC aquaponics setup, should I say. I'm an aquaculture technician, so I know a little bit about fish, but this is my first ever kind of endeavour into this, so I'll run you through it. We've already got some established plants. Most of them were taken as clones. The bean sprouts are really going off, and the tomato there, lettuce there is really going off as well. Anyway, we'll start at the sump. So you got your sump tank here. It's simply an IBC cut a little bit around halfway. Got a 10,000 litre an hour pump in there, sump pump, and what that's doing is pumping water up along this tube to our grow bed. This bell siphon needs a little work. I got to adjust the cap because the actual siphon itself is coming up, but it's working. So the water fills up our grow bed, activates our bell siphon here, and then it floods out into our tank. In this tank, I have sleepy cod. At the moment, I've got 5 sleepy cod in there. One of them kept jumping out, so he's been put in the sump. Hopefully he'll chill out in there. And in this one, we have barramundi. They're all quite active. They are hungry, even though they've just ate. There's 15 barramundi in there, and they seem to be really happy and active in there. This bell siphon works perfectly. Never have any trouble with it. Bit of a video of the bell siphon. So yeah, the plants we have in here, pretty wide variety. We've got cherry tomatoes, dwarf beans, cucumber, bit of spinach. There's an eggplant there. Over here we got chili, okra. I believe these are mini capsicums, a bit of passion fruit that I plan on draping down the side. Same with the sweet potato. It'll grow sweet potatoes in the aquaponics setup, but you're better off draping your leaves down the side, trying to promote them to grow into the ground as well and get that extra nutrient. And yeah, there's the lettuce. It's just going off, the cos lettuce. It's already doubled in size since it's been put in. And yeah, so the water flow continues along, fills this bed, siphon activates, drains into there. And now the tricky stuff. So down here we have a solids lifting outlet. It's probably better from the other side. You might be able to see down at the bottom. You can see that solids lifting outlet. What it is a pipe with a cap at the end, and it has a bunch of holes in it. And at the top there you can see a T-piece. Now the reason we have a T-piece and not just a straight connection in is because what will happen is it'll drain your whole bed if something goes wrong. So if your pump stops working and you don't have that T-piece in there, it's not going to activate an air siphon here, and it'll actually drain your whole fish tank. So you need that T-piece, and what that does is it lifts solid waste, fish poo from the bottom, continues along here. Have a similar setup, same setup in the other tank. Goes to this T-piece and then down into that first bucket. That first bucket is set up as a radial flow filter. And there's a guy, his YouTube channel I believe is Backyard Aquaponics, and he has a really good description of a radial flow filter and what it does. And then it continues from that radial flow filter, heads in at the bottom, comes out at the top, goes down, heads into the bottom of this canister. This is my biofiltration media. So inside here I've got they're actually clay activated kind of pellets, and they've got lots of surface area, and the idea behind it is good bacteria, 2 different types of good bacteria will grow in that surface area, and they will process more of the ammonia and nitrogen than the plants can process. So it's just kind of an extra, it's not necessary, but it is a really good extra thing to have in order to process your ammonias, especially if you're stocking lots of fish, of which I'm not at the moment. Now in the sump, you might not have noticed, but there are sole, freshwater sole. They're kind of like flounder. And over here I think is my sleepy cod that just keeps jumping out of the tank. So I come out in the morning and he's all dried up, and they're amazing fish. You put a bit of water on them and they just come back to life. And yeah, I'm afraid he's going to end up dead, so he's been moved to the sump now. I'm thinking maybe the other ones are scaring him out. The cool thing with sleepy cod is once you notice them pair up, and they will actually pair up, there's one there by himself, so he'll get taken out. And as you can see, there's two there, and then there's two really close ones down here, quite a large one and a small one. I'm not sure if I can get a good enough angle. But those are going to be the mates. So they pair up, and then what you do is you remove the other ones from the tank, and if you've got the environment right, temperature, etc., they'll actually breed, and you can breed sleepy cod fairly easy on a pretty simple diet of kind of squid and prawns. Yeah, there's my setup. Hopefully I gave you a bit of info you might not have had. Also, one thing to remember is you've got a lot of water dumping out of these grow beds, and if the height in your fish tank is quite high already, like mine is, you might have problems with overflow, and that's where just an extra connection comes in handy. So when the water dumps in and it gets too high, it'll get up to this point, it'll go into here, into a T-piece, and that just leads straight into the sump pit. And there's no filtration in there because it's the top level of water that's being pumped in and filtered anyway from the plants.